there, Flosstube. I'm Darlene. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Darlene Dion Designs here on Flosstube and over on Instagram and on Facebook. I am a quilt designer. That's my day job. And I cross stitch as well. Most of what you see here is cross stitch with some quilting that I save until the end. If you're not interested in that, you don't have to stick around to watch that. If you're new here, thanks so much for joining me, and if you're returning, thanks so much for coming back. It's wonderful. I'm enjoying this so much fun on Flosstube. So many wonderful people to share the love of this wonderful craft with. So just a little bit of life update. Weather-wise, everything is white. We have had several days of snow and then storms too. We had 3 storms within 2 weeks. So we've got probably 8 to 10 inches of snow now on the ground. Anyway, it's very pretty. We had about 5 inches night before last of new snow and a little bit again last night. We are supposed to get rain this afternoon. It's still snowing here a little bit right now, so we'll see. Sometimes we're far enough away from the ocean here. We're about 7 minutes drive from the ocean. So sometimes when they're calling for rain, it stays cold enough here that we continue with snow. So we'll see. We may get a little rain. Nothing serious. COVID is raging. It's maybe slowing down a little bit. Still lots of cases every day here in our province. I'm in Nova Scotia, for those that don't know. Yeah, so we are on not really a lockdown, but there are some restrictions in place. Nothing horrendous, but yeah, we're just trying really hard to be careful. Personally, we are. I haven't been anywhere much. Had a doctor's appointment this morning, went out for that. I did go one day last week to pick up a few things that I needed at Walmart and the grocery store. Other than that, I haven't been out at all. Just hunkering down close to home, enjoying every minute of it. Lots of stitching time, sewing time. Anyway, I didn't say this is Flosstube number 13, I don't think. Anyway, I did have a few questions in my last Flosstube that I wanted to answer. Someone asked about the quilts behind me. This one is Miss Eunice. It's a quilt that I designed when I used to own a quilt shop. So it was a quilt I designed for a block of the month for that. It's Miss Eunice, EWENICE. Each one represents a different season or holiday with the sheep in there. The sheep is the same in each one. So I did it in wool applique. I've seen it done in cotton, just cotton on cotton. I've seen it done in flannel applique. It's very pretty, and there's some possibilities of changing things out a little bit. You see we have a Canadian flag there. It's not a biggie to change that to a US flag or any flag really, if that's something that interests you. And then the other quilts, this one is 2.5 inch basket blocks that Temecula Quilt Shop did as a summer challenge one year, maybe 2012, maybe. Anyway, I'm sure you'd find it on their blog if you scrolled back through. This one, a friend made it for me, and I don't know what it's called, but it's a really pretty quilt. She actually came to teach at one of my quilt retreats that I hosted when I had the shop, and she taught that class, and then she gifted me the quilt, so I love it. It's so pretty, so many colors. Anyway, so those are the names, or those are what those quilts are behind me. Someone else asked where I buy my cross-stitch fabric. Locally, there's not a lot there's no places that I know of locally to buy linen. You can buy some Aida at Michael's, at Atlantic Fabrics. There's a place not far from here called Clarence's Shopping Mart. They have a nice selection of sewing supplies, quilting supplies, and they do have some Aida there, but nothing dyed. There's no over-dyed fabrics there. A lot of my fabric I order from 123 Stitch, some from Fat Quarter Shop, and there's a shop in Moncton called The Stitch Bug. I order from her. I do everything on Facebook. She doesn't have a website yet, so I message her back and forth, and she sends it out to me. And there's a website out of Lower Sackville called the Charting Creations. If you check her out, she has nice fabrics available there on her website. Also, and I forgot to bring it in here. Last time I had a little blue pillow that I showed you that was a snowman, and I said it was from one of the previous issues of Just Crosstich Magazine's Ornaments. Someone asked which issue that was from, and that is from the 2004 Ornaments issue. So, I'm going to start today with some FFOs. I had a morning one day last week where I got busy and finished 4 things that morning, so I was thrilled with that. So the first one I'm going to show is Winter Home by Rovers Crosstich, and this is for my tier tray or my dough bowl, whichever. It's in my dough bowl this week. So I did it on navy 28 count Lugana. I changed this word. The winter was a dark blue, which didn't show up so good on this navy, so I changed that to the white. And I don't think I changed anything else. I don't think. Anyway, and I put some blue fabric on the back, blue navy. So I really like that. It's cute. She's got really cute designs. Oh, and that came from Punch Needle and Primitive Stitching magazine. I think it was the most recent winter issue. Then I had Let It Snow. That was a freebie from Waltz Iris Naps. And you can't really see it here. There, you can see it a little better. I hand dyed the fabric with Rit dyes. It is linen. I think it was 32 count linen. And I used DMC 518 for the blue, and I used DMC S712, which is the satin floss, for the snowflakes. So you see it's got a little shine to it. It's really pretty. It's hard to see it here, but it's much shinier in person. Anyway, I'm really pleased. And then when I went to finish it, I had this, I used blue mini dot on the back, and I had this roll of trim in my stash from my scrapbooking days that just matched it perfectly. So yeah, it's really cute. That one also sits in my dough bowl now. That is a freebie on Christina's website, Waltz Iris Snaps. Then I finished, I showed you this last time. This is Winter Salt Box from Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting blog. This is a freebie. And it's so cute. I just love it. I think this was pretty much the favorite of all of my finishes that day. Anyway, it's so cute. The colors are so rich. And this is stitched on 28 count gingerbread Lugana. I changed a few colors. There was a yellow in the center here. I left that blue. She has initials up here in the corner. I didn't bother with the initials. And I changed the color of the door. I wanted the door to be red. Anyway, it's pretty cute. I love it. And I've put some Primitive Gatherings fabric on the back, and I used red chenille trim around the outside. And there was something else I was going to say about it. Can't remember what it was. Anyway. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I've started another of her houses. I'll show you that in my new starts. So that's that. And my last FFO from that day is one that I stitched, I think at least a year ago. And I didn't have what I wanted to finish it. And I found this frame in my mom's house when we cleaned out my mom's house when she moved into long-term care. This little frame was there and it just fit it perfectly. So it will pop right out. I haven't done anything to the back because I know I will I know I will switch it out each month for the other, no, it's snowing harder again now, for the other months. And so this is a piece of foam board covered with a piece of Lori Holt plaid fabric, and then this is a piece of mat board with a piece of batting on it and then covered with the stitching. So it fits in there really nicely. And I have the February one and the March one all done, are all ready to finish, so I will hopefully have that done to show you in my next Flosstube. Anyway, I love it. I'm really, really, I did change some of the colors, and I'm pretty sure I posted them in my Instagram quite a while ago, like I said, at least a year ago, but I can't remember what they are. You'd have to look back there to see them. I know I used a lighter brown than what it called for, I think. So anyway, that sits on a easel beside my tier tray. And then I had one other, well, it's not really FFO'd, but it's almost FFO'd. I wanted to ask some opinions about it before I I started this on the weekend. I bought myself a pattern and one of these little foxwood sleds. So cute. And then I bought, it's in here somewhere, the pattern for these. Okay, so I don't have it glued on. And I had a piece of perforated paper in my stash, and you can see it's gold, shiny gold. And I wanted to try this on that. I don't like the gold, and I won't, it's not something I want to do more of. But I'm going to get some of the actual brown perforated paper and do some more of these. I love it, and I loved working on it. I stitched it up in, I think I started it on Saturday, late Saturday afternoon, and finished it before I went to bed Saturday night. So it really stitched up quickly. It's DMC colors on the perforated. It's 28 count, it's 14 count, and I used 2 strands of floss, which I think I read somewhere that they recommend 3, but I've heard other people on Flosstube say that they use 2 and that it works just fine. So I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I think it's called Mini Village, the pattern, but I've got it in my stash here to show you. So anyway, I'm really happy with it. I have another sled. I bought 2, so I'll make another one of them. Actually, I may do another one on the golds that they'll match, but we'll see. Anyway, but my question is, it says in the instructions to use glue. One way that you can finish it is to just, put some glue on the back of your stitching and stitch it to the sled. But this is the glue I use, the tacky glue, and I just wasn't sure if that's what I should use to glue that on there. So if you've made any of these and you've used tacky glue and had good luck or not good luck, please let me know one way or the other, because I don't want to ruin this with something I shouldn't be using. So please let me know if you know. So that was all of my FFOs. I got my list here. And that sled was a new start and a finish. And I participated in 24 hours of cross stitch on the weekend. That was my first one that I participated in. I got 24 hours in. I'm team sleep, so it wasn't 24 hours straight, but I decided about 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon that I was going to do this, and I wanted to start at 4 o'clock. So I got a few things together and pulled that off. So I had some new starts, and I had a couple of whips that I worked on over the weekend. I actually had 4 new starts, and 2 of them, one of them for sure I'm not happy with. I didn't even bring it in here to show you. I don't like the color of the fabric. And the other one, I'm not sure if I'm gonna go any further with that one either, so I didn't even bring that one in. So anyway, but the other 2 I actually started and have had finishes, or yeah, finishes, not full finishes. So this is one of them. Love Never Fails. This is a freebie from the Primitive Hair. And I had a scrap of sand 28 count Lugana that I stitched it on. And I used Weeks Dye Works Raspberry for the color. You can't really see much variation, a little bit, but not a whole lot. So I'm pretty sure that I'm going to finish that as a pillow for my tier tray. So there's that one. And then this one is Love is Kind. This is a freebie from Hands On Designs. She does a freebie every February in honor of their anniversary. And it's always love related. And she has it finished really cutely into a stuffed heart. So I'm thinking that that's what I'm going to do with this. I had hoped to do it yesterday, but it just didn't happen. Anyway, that also is on the scrap of sand Lugana. Yeah, sand Lugana. So that was the 2 starts and finishes I had on the weekend. Other things I stitched, I've been stitching on Pinker and Pumpkin's Dorothy May's Spring House. So I stitched on that quite a bit for the 24 hours. I changed the color of the basket here, and I changed the color of the green, just toned them down a little bit. My fabric was quite light, and I wanted something that looked a little softer on the fabric. And so yeah, I'm enjoying that. There are some birds and stars and a plant down here. There's a basket here and some birds. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do up here. I might change the birds. I'm not sure yet. Anyway, pretty happy with it. That is on 28 count tea-dyed Monaco. And the color is pretty close there. Yeah. Anyway, I love Melissa's designs. So this is my second of her houses. Second of many, I hope. Also on the weekend, I spent a little time stitching on Though He Seemeth Sleeping. I love this so much. Love, love, love this. Love the verse, love the sampler, everything. And this one I'm using DMC, mostly all DMC, and I'm pretty much just choosing my colors as I go. Yeah, I've seen a couple on the Facebook group, the Lucy Beam Facebook group that I really like, and so I have pictures of those saved on my phone, and I kind of refer back to them, but I'm not following them right on, just kind of doing what I like. So anyway, that is 28 count Vintage Country Mocha, I think it's called. I always struggle with that name. And my little needle keeper up there is a little sewing machine that my sister gave me for Christmas. My first needle keep. Anyway, I really love this. And yeah, I spent some time with that on the weekend. Yesterday, I pulled this out, and it's the first time I've had it out for months. And I really, really, really love this. It is Riley Harbour by Kathy Barrick. I just love it. And I'm ready to start, I'm ready to start the whale. And I think that's why I've put it off a while. I'm not really sure that the floss I have to do the whale is gonna suit. So I've just kind of been holding off starting the whale. I just love this, and I don't want anything to mess up how it looks. These are the flosses. It's a Valdani floss, variegated floss, but I don't see a name. Cape Cod Cottage. So it does look similar. It's not what it calls, not what the pattern calls for, but it does look similar to what they used for the whale in the chart. But sometimes when I look at it, it looks purpley to me. Like it looks like there's some mauve in there. So I'm kind of scared to use it and then not like it and have to rip a bunch out. I just don't know. So there's no place around here to buy variegated floss. I did buy this one over on the South Shore last summer and thinking it would work, and now that I look at it more, but yet it does look like the whale. There's almost some purpley mauve in the gray. You can't really get the color of it here, but anyway, I just don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to try it. It's see, you can see there that it looks a little mauve, but I may just order the called for floss, which it will take a while, but I've been putting off working on it anyway, so I should have ordered it in the first place, and then I would be stitching on it now. But I did stitch a little bit yesterday. I stitched this one little fish because I wanted to start the whale, and then I second guess myself every time I go to start it with that floss. Anyway, I got to make up my mind. Either start it or order a different color. So that was all of my whips and recent stitching, I think. I did have a little happy mail. Crafting Kirsty from the UK did 12 days of giveaways. I think she started on Christmas Day, and I was the lucky winner of one of them, which is a Plum Street Samplers chart. It's called Earthly Treasures. I like this verse a lot. So I don't have any definite plans to start it right away, but it's a cute one. Thank you, Kirsty. I always want to say Kirsty. Yeah, so she had some great prizes. She has a fun floss tube. She makes me laugh. Anyway, she's just pretty laid back and easygoing, and I really like her. She's a quilter too, so we have some things in common, which is great. And I had some haul. This is the sleigh pattern the sled pattern that I did. Mini Village, it's called, by Foxwood Crossings. Anyway, so I did this. Yeah, I did. Oh, I just realized I missed something. There is backstitching on the barn door, and I forgot to do that. So I'm glad I didn't glue it on yet. So I'll do that before I glue it down. Anyway, so, and I think I want to do both of the other ones. This one has a water wheel, and this one has a church, so they're pretty cute. I had an order come from Fat Quarter Shop. Actually, that's where the sleds and the pattern came from, but they had some fabrics on sale, so I bought some Lori Holt Lugana. This is 25 count blackboard. This is 25 count barley. That's a pretty, can't really get the color. This one is 25 count heritage, so pretty. That one's pretty close to the color there. 25 count pebble. It doesn't say Lugana, but anyway, that's a nice color. Dark gray. Kind of a taupey brown gray. And then this is a Ada feed sack. Nice color. This one is Prim, 25 count even weave Prim. Another taupey gray color. Very nice. And Farmhouse, 25 count Farmhouse. It's kind of a peachy beige. Anyway, they were really nice. I didn't want to pass up that sale. And another sled. And then yesterday I had an order come from 123 Stitch, and I got the fox. I'm hoping to do the whole set of 12. These are by Cottage Garden Samplings. I'm sure most of you have seen this online. We had a pet fox when I was a kid, and there's something about foxes that speak to me. I think it just reminds me of my dad. So my sister and I are both stitching this. We each ordered the patterns and they came yesterday, and I took hers to her today, and I have ordered a piece of 32 count white fabric, antique white. I'm going to try dyeing it myself. I watched Mama Loves You GB's tutorial again. I've watched some others, and I have dyed some of my own fabric, but it's kind of hit and miss, where this time trying to come up with close to this color like hers is. Anyway, we'll see. It might work and it might not, but it's not going to be ruined fabric because I'll dye it black if I have to to use it for something else. Anyway, I love this, and now the second one has come out, which is the swans, and the third one they just released the picture of it last week, and it's the jackrabbit. I like them all so far. So if you are interested, oh, I guess it's over. Mama Loves You GB did a contest on her Flosstube. Cottage Garden Samplings put out a picture of a tiny little snip, of each month, and asked if you and then Mama Loves You GB Michelle asked, what do you think each month is going to be? So she did a little contest where you could go in and put what animal you think was going to be in each month, and at the end of the year she's going to do a draw for a piece of fabric of the winner's choice. You get to choose whatever you want her to, whatever color you want her to do for you. So I did it, and so the first two, of course, had already been released. So she did 10 remaining blocks, and one of the ones I guessed was a rabbit. I don't know if it was in the right spot, but anyway, I did guess a rabbit. I guessed a rabbit, I guessed a raccoon, I guessed a deer, a bear, I think a moose. I guessed a turkey, and I think a crow. I don't know what else. Anyway, it should be a fun contest at the end of the year. So that was my haul. I have watched quite a bit of Flosstube. Finally, a farm girl. She purchased a project bag from me, and she showed it on her recent Flosstube. Thank you so much, Chrissy, for shouting me out there. I appreciate that. I really enjoy Chrissy's Flosstubes, her family life. She's a sweetheart, and I really, really enjoy watching her and getting to know her and her family that way. I've watched The Contented Stitcher. Kim has been sick. Her and her husband were both sick, and so she's recovered now, and she did a video of all of her 2021 finishes. It was just wonderful. It was only like 11 or 12 minutes, so it's not something that you've got to spend a lot of time watching. It was wonderful. Oh my goodness, her finishes are just, most of hers are framed, and she makes her own frames, or she does a lot of thrifted frames and then cuts them down to size. Wow, she's like the frame queen. Anyway, that's really great. Lovin's Stitching, I really enjoy her. Really, they've also been sick. Really enjoy her finishes and her projects that she's working on. Crosstich Stitch MD is another Nova Scotia Flosstuber. She's great. She does a lot of Quaker samplers. She does a lot of monochromatic type samplers, and she does heids. She's working on a beautiful haid there right now. She has a new puppy, if you get a chance to check her out. Mama Loves You GB, that is like Sunday just couldn't happen if I, like, wow, you get up on Sunday morning and her Sunday morning briefing is there, and it's like, oh yeah, my Sunday is good now. Alba Stitcher, always enjoy Amanda's posts or her floss tubes. Crafting Kirsty, I mentioned her before. She always makes me laugh. Anyway, made by Michelle Mcgraw. She's one of my top floss tubers. She has amazing finishes and there's no end to them. Like, it's just, she is a machine. Just so inspiring. Anyway, yeah, I really enjoy her. And then two new ones for me this time were Yasmin's Made with Love. She is in London, I think, but she's from Poland, I think it is. I think it's Poland, but I'm not sure. She's got a nice accent. And Heather North, another new one that I watched for the first time yesterday. She had some really cute finishes. She does a lot of the Stitching with the Housewives charts, but she doesn't do them, or what I've seen yesterday, not many of them were on black, which most of the Stitching with the Housewives charts, they do in black, but she had them done on a different color, which I really liked. She had one of the In My Cup, one from the In My Cup series there. I can't remember which one it was, but she had it on a pretty blue and it was really nice. So that's who I've watched. Yeah, that's all today for my stitching. I am going to do a giveaway for a couple of quilt patterns. If you're interested in that, you can stick around. If you're not, I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, so for my quilters, I'll do the giveaways right now so that if you do want to stick around for that, you won't have to watch the rest of the quilting if you don't want to. I think I've done some giveaways for these before, but they are because of the season, I wanted to do snowmen. This is my friend Wilbur. Now I did wool applique on a cotton background, and I did hand stitching for the applique, but you don't have to. You can totally do cotton on cotton. I've done it that way too. You can do machine applique, you can do hand applique, you can do flannel, you can do whatever suits your fancy. Anyway, so it is a PDF pattern. If you're interested in that, you need to leave the comment snowman. I'm going to write that down. Snowman for Wilbur. So, like I said, it's a PDF pattern. I will email it to you. If you're the winner, I will choose a winner in my next Flosstube. And you have to be a subscriber, you have to comment, all that stuff. I don't think I need for you to be over 18 because I'm not going to ask you for an address, but I don't imagine there's too many people under 18 who are watching my Flosstube anyway. Anyway, so that's my friend Wilbur giveaway for the PDF pattern. And my other snowman is Frosty's Ride, and more of a Christmassy snowman theme, but not necessarily. It does have a little garland and a tree, but anyway, you could leave it out. I'm leaving it out all winter. It's been hanging in my kitchen all winter. Anyway, and again, the comment will use truck for Frosty's Ride. So if you're interested in either of those PDF patterns, leave those comments below. For the Wilbur one, you need to use the word snowman, and for the Frosty's Ride one, you need to use the word truck. So that will be in my next Flosstube, which probably will be roughly 2 weeks. And on to my quilting projects. When I had my shop, I owned a shop from 2013 to 2018 in Digby, which is the closest town to where I live, quilt shop. And in 2015, I had so many people say, oh, I'd love to quilt, but I don't have time to quilt, you know, I just don't have time to quilt. And I was like, oh yeah, you do. But not everybody agrees. Anyway, I decided to come up with a way to encourage people to quilt when they didn't think they had time to quilt. So we did a block of the week. We started it in 2015 and we ran it for the 52 weeks. We called it the 52-week quilt block challenge, I think, every year. And the first year we did a turn dash quilt. I've shown it on here before. And then I gave instructions at the end of the year for putting it together, and it was a nice big throw size. I use it almost every day in my living room. And then other years we did a checkerboard block. We did a bear paw. We did variegated, no, a star. I can't remember what it's called. I always called it a morning star, but I know that's not the proper name. Can't remember. I've shown that one on here too. Anyway, we did 6 altogether. And last year I didn't do one, 2021. When I closed the shop in 2018, people still wanted me to continue doing them, so I did 2019 and 2020. But then in 2021, I decided not to do one because I'm not very techie. And my daughter does it all for me. I design it, I put the quilt together, I write up the instructions, send it to her, and she makes it look professional, and then I post it. But she sets it up as a PDF and all that. If anyone has trouble downloading it or can't get anything to work, I can't help them. So I have to bother her to get her to look into it for me. And she is one busy little girl, so I just didn't want to put that on her anymore. So I just decided, no, I'm not going to do that. But so many people missed it and asked me again, this year, are you going to do a block of the month? And no, I'm not going to do one. I told several people I wasn't going to do one. And then I thought, well, you know, I'm not going to do what I typically did, but I think I am going to do, and I decided I started it last week, or maybe even the week before. I'm doing a block each day, and I gave instructions on my Facebook group. I gave instructions in I run a Nova Scotia Quilters online group. You're more than welcome to join us there, no matter where you are. There's lots of people from all over the world in there. The instructions are there, and everybody, you know, a lot of people are sharing their blocks each day. The way I set it up is it's the same block every day. It's use your scraps. And I asked everyone to please use the hashtag 2022 Scrappy Stash Buster. So it is I started with a 3.5 inch square of dark fabric and 3.5 inch square of light fabric. We made half square triangles. I'm not squaring anything up. And then I put them together in a broken dishes pattern. And I'm just randomly sewing blocks. If I have time to do one each day, I'll do one each day. If I don't, I don't. I'm aiming for between 260 and 300 blocks for the year. If I get that, great. If I don't, it's not a biggie. There will be no finishing instructions at the end of the year. It's your quilt. You do what you want with it. It's just a fun way to use your scraps. So this was my first block, and I think I've got 10. It's been 11 days, and this is the 12th day. I've done 10 days, and I will do one this afternoon. But anyway, so I missed a day, and that's the way it will be. I'm not making it a priority. If I come into the sewing room and sit down to sew, first thing I'm going to do is make this block. If I don't have time, it's not a biggie. And there's no PDF, there's nothing to print because I don't want to involve my daughter in it at all. It's just there on the Facebook groups. I might have given the instructions in my Instagram post too. It's simple and easy. There's nothing complicated about it. There's nothing you have to print. There's no rules. You do you. Do the way you like it. If you want to square up your blocks, square up your blocks. If you like me and you don't want to square up your blocks, that's fine too. Do what you want. If you want to sew them all in a strip, I'm starting out with a strip of 12. If I change my mind partway through and want to go to a strip of 14 or 15, that works too. Some people are sewing them in blocks and then going to sew the blocks together at the end. Some people aren't sewing them together at all until the end. You do what works for you. Anyway, there'll be no further instructions, but if you want to join us, I would love to have you join along and use the hashtag 2022 Scrappy Stash Buster. I'll put it below. Anyway, it is a fun way to use up scraps. And like I said, if you don't think you have time for quilting, you're wrong. You do. You have time. Even if you do one a week, you have time to sit down and spend 15 minutes out of all the minutes in 1 week to make one little quilt block. You have time. You do. And the last thing I'm going to show you are a few of my project bags that are in the works. Thank you to those who have recently purchased. I can't keep up, which is a good thing. This one is Cream and Cranberries, or Cranberries and Cream by Three Sisters. I love their fabrics. Anyway, so and this is the only one that I've got quilted right now. The rest are just bare bone fronts. I've got 2 of this. It is by, that's awful, I can't remember. I probably threw the thingy away. There's some listed in my, some shown in my Instagram post if you're interested in what the fabric is actually called. So Allie K Designs, maybe? That sounds right. So there's 2 of these, 2 black and white ones. And there's another red and cream, Cranberries and Cream one by Three Sisters. Oh, I forgot to show this. This came in my haul from Fat Quarter Shop too. I had 2 charm packs of Lori Holt fabric. First time I'd ever sewn with Lori Holt fabric. So I had 2 last week finished Lori Holt the stitch line, and then 2 this week I'm hoping to get finished. And then these were all blues from the stitch line, and and I had ordered some yardage too. Well, so tealy blues of Lori Holt's. I only have one like this. This one, I think it's Barbara Brackman, but I'm not positive. And this one is Jan Patek, or Patek, I don't know how to say her name. I really, really, really love this one. This one was a charm pack that my sister had and she wasn't going to use, so she said, you might as well take that and make some project bags out of it. So I really, really love the color of this one. So anyway, I put those together yesterday, and now this afternoon I'm going to work on getting them ready to quilt and put the zippers in and get them listed, probably maybe by the end of the week. And then this Lori Holt charm pack is flea market. I'm gonna do some, oh well, you can see it there. Some upside down. There we go. Anyway, that'll be some fun bags. So that's it for me today. I'm pretty sure that's everything. Yeah, it is. This won't upload until tomorrow. When I get to my sister's tomorrow, I will get that uploaded. So that'll be out on Wednesday, hopefully. Yeah, again, if you want to get in on the giveaways, be sure to leave a comment with Snowman for the Wilbur one and Truck for the Frosty's Ride one. And thank you so much for coming to say hi, and I will see you again in a couple of weeks, roughly couple of weeks. And I hope you're enjoying the nice wintry weather and that you are having lots of stitchy time and lots of time with your loved ones. And thank you so much for being with me today. See ya.